Prime Minister Skerrit meets Soufriere constituents and presents cheque to Village Council for housing, and the Dominican leader calls for private sector investments in the geothermal project. Thank you for joining us on another edition of National Focus. I'm Shaakira Pierre. Stay with us for details of the headline stories after this.
A picture is worth 1,000 words. Got it? Taking care of us can be so easy.
Take good care of the children.
The Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit, usually takes time to meet one-on-one with citizens at the Prime Minister's office on a Wednesday. Well, today, Wednesday 20th April, the Prime Minister moved out of the office and into the Soufriere constituency to meet with and hear the concerns of the people. Kimani Saint-Jean was there and brings this report.
A packed day for Prime Minister Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit as he saw one-on-one scores of persons from the Soufriere community. The Prime Minister was at the Soufriere constituency office where he saw over 100 persons. Prime Minister Skerrit says this is an unusual practice for his administration.
Well, this is a novel practice on my part. I mean, going out to the communities and to, meeting people where they live and where they reside, you know. Sometimes people want to see me, they have to come to town, and there's difficulty in reaching me sometimes, so it's important for me to come out and to the constituency offices, the party offices, and to meet people. So we're going to be continuing this. We have a list of communities which we'll visit and spend some hours meeting people, hearing the concerns, hearing the suggestions. So today was very constructive. We saw one-on-one over 100 people, and also we'll be doing some home visits. Some sick and shortened people who have asked me to come visit them. I'll go and visit them, both in Soufriere and Scottshead. So we've taken note of the people's concerns and discussed it with the cabinet and see how we can assist the community further. But it's important for us to reach out and whatever. So today, you know, seeing over 100 people one-on-one gave me an opportunity to better understand the challenges and how we can assist them.
Prime Minister Skerrit also presented a cheque of $597,000 to the Soufriere Galleon Scottshead Village Council for housing in the community.
We were able to hand over a cheque to the Village Council in excess of $597,000 to assist our residents here, particularly with regards to housing. So a number of families, both in Soufriere and Scottshead, will benefit. And also Point Michel, too, there's a separate check for the Village Council in Scottshead. And there will also be several roads in those communities which we will improve upon.
We spoke to a few of the constituents who were extremely pleased that the Honorable Prime Minister had taken time to visit them.
Well, it's a good thing he did this morning because I need to see him, and if he didn't come, I wouldn't see him this morning. And I saw him and he talked to me, so it was a good thing. So I'm glad it's a good thing he came there to see everybody, who we can see, what he can do for us.
Well, it's very nice to have him for a long time in Soufriere. It's very nice, I can say, because it's a while we haven't spoken to him face to face. We only see him on TV and stuff like that. So it's very nice.
Were you able to see him?
Oh yes, ma'am, I saw him.
How do you feel about your meeting with him?
Oh, very lovely, because what I wanted to say to him, I get a chance to say it. And I'm very pleased with the outcome of my meeting with him.
Oh boy, I'm so happy today seeing my Prime Minister face to face. I've been seeing him, you know, during the campaign, but today I sit down close to him and have a little short chat with him. And that was very, very good. I'm feeling proud. He's a humble man. He's a people person. I know that long, you know, but today, to me, I'm feeling more, how I would say that, more certain, I trust him more. Yeah. I'm so happy today to see him face to face again.
Kimani Saint-Jean reporting from Soufriere for GIS News.
Honorable Prime Minister Dr. Roosevelt Skerrit has called for private organizations to invest in the geothermal project, which he considers to be critical to Dominica's development. The Honorable Prime Minister was speaking at the opening ceremony of a Sustainable Energy and Climate Resilience consultation on Monday. The Prime Minister stated that as a small island state, Dominica is often placed in a difficult position where the choice is either renewable energy investment or other major developments that are needed in the country. He says too often small island developing states need to borrow money which will be repaid to reconstruct after the effects of climate change, but this has an effect on a country's GDP.
We should never have a situation where our countries, big or small, whether you reside in the north or you reside in the south, should have to make a determination on whether we advance our renewable energy initiatives or divert the resources to other areas. Our march to renewable energy and the sustainable use of our natural resources are too critical to our survival for us to be forced to make a determination on whether we invest in geothermal or we reconstruct our roads. I believe that we should have sufficient access to the resources to allow us to be able to do both simultaneously.
The Honorable Prime Minister restated his commitment to the geothermal project as one of Dominica's sources of renewable energy. He continued that long-term benefits to the country rest largely within the geothermal project.
We have friendly partners who have indicated to us our financing. We have funds that have been pledged to us by the World Bank. It's a matter for us now to conclude on this. But whether we go with it alone or with a partner, I'm saying that that project will be pursued by the government and people of Dominica. And I believe it's an opportunity for the private sector. Those who espouse the public-private partnership, local Dominicans, for you to own, to be part owners by putting equity into this project and having a joint project between the government and yourself. What a wonderful opportunity this is, that you can get together as a private sector and bring in $5, $6, $7, $8, $9, $10 or $20 million to the government and say, I want to be a partner. How many shares can I get with $20 million? So I'm putting out to you.
Meanwhile, Swedish ambassador to Dominica made a commitment to support Dominica's efforts in geothermal energy. He suggested possible funding sources for Dominica. The ambassador also spoke at the consultation on Monday.
Maybe the Green Climate Fund can support you. Sweden, I like to say again, without wanting to brag too much, but Sweden is the largest contributor per capita to the Green Climate Fund. Now you might think it's not so much money because we're not so many people, we're only 10 million people, but in absolute terms it is actually $580 million US. So it's not nothing. Thank you, thank you. And I think on a personal level, and I think the member of the board, which is a Swede, one of the members of the board, great if some of that money could go to Dominica, because you need it, and we would support that. So I think, and we have been working for SIDS getting better access to the climate funds.
You're watching National Focus, more when we return.
I had a bleeding disorder that I did not know about, and they had to be transfusing me continuously. I got 56 units.
Being there at the blood bank, I was like, yo, I'm actually saving someone's life.
You never know when you can go.
Give blood. I have done it, and believe it or not, it don't hurt.
I won't be scared. I'll give. You know you're gonna give blood. I'll make sure she does.
Sit down at the blood bank in a comfortable environment for 45 minutes.
Helping people.
You are stimulating your body to make brand new cells.
You get free cookies, you get juice.
Glad to know your blood group. Feels good.
I felt as a better person.
It's a good thing to be alive, and I can thank God that I'm there and I'm enjoying life.
The Honorable Minister for Trade, Energy and Employment, Ian Douglas, believes that Dominica should be more prudent in waste management. Honorable Douglas made the connection between the generation of waste and the effects it has on climate change. The Honorable Minister for Energy stated that although Dominica's contribution to greenhouse gases is mainly absorbed by the country's vast forestry, Dominica must still be cautious in the disposal of all kinds of waste. Honorable Douglas spoke at a consultation on Monday for sustainable energy and climate change.
Resilience building, therefore, is extremely important to our survival here on the nature island, the Commonwealth of Dominica. We must therefore adopt our policies and daily lives to effectively deal with these impending climate change impacts. This does not mean that we should lessen on our quality of our lives, but adaptation in many ways can improve our lives once it is done properly.
The Honorable Minister stressed that the climate change agenda for Dominica has taken on new life with the Paris Agreement. The Paris Climate Conference, COP21, in December 2015, 195 countries adopted the first ever universal, legally binding global climate deal. The agreement sets out a global action plan to put the world on track to avoid dangerous climate change by limiting global warming to well below 2 degrees Celsius. Honorable Douglas revealed areas that need improving with waste management in Dominica.
One area of concern to us as a people is the generation of waste and its disposal. Waste generation and disposal also contribute to greenhouse gas emissions. I humbly suggest, therefore, that as you work through the next 3 days, that all types of waste, solid and liquid, take some prominence on the agenda. This is just one example, I think, that we in Dominica can improve.
Meanwhile, the Swedish ambassador to Dominica hopes Dominica can use Sweden as an example on how to convert waste to energy.
We are trying that very much in Sweden successfully, to convert, instead of having landfills, we don't have landfills anymore, we use all our solid waste, create energy, and it's been so successful we now have to import waste. We buy waste from Norway to use for energy. How about that? So maybe you can start buying from the other islands if you're successful.
The Honorable Minister for Information, Science, Telecommunications and Technology, Kelvadaru, wants the National Telecommunications Regulatory Commission, NTRC, to use funds that have been provided for the development of ICT in Dominica. Honorable Kelvadaru was the featured speaker at the opening ceremony of the 3-day National Broadband Consultation on Sustainable Development in the ICT sector. During the opening ceremony, Director of the NTRC, Craig Nesty, stated that the budget allocated for ICT was not sufficient for its development in Dominica.
The amount of sums that telecoms providers have invested in network deployment. I mean, in 1 year, when a particular provider upgraded, they claim to have invested over $15 million in an upgrade of a network. Now, that is not even the deployment or the rollout, that's just an upgrade of a network. Well, I can't envision 1 year where we've invested $1 million in the training of ICT. You know, when you look at the budget put aside for telecoms, it was 0.133% of the overall national budget. But with that type of focus on the development of content and the development of applications, no wonder broadband is seen as irrelevant for the masses in Dominica.
However, during his address, the Minister for Information challenged the NTRC to make greater use of the Universal Service Fund.
This is a fund which the service providers make an annual contribution to based on their gross profits of 1%. And in St. Vincent, 100% of this fund is utilized on the projects, while in Dominica we have only a mere 56% use of that funds. And so I see both the commissioner of the NTRC and also the director is here. And as the minister responsible for ICT, I challenge you to utilize these funds to a greater degree so that Dominican citizens can benefit more tremendously from these funds. A lot of times we place a lot of responsibility on the service providers to provide quality service. But today I am standing in defense of the service providers here in Dominica. because I believe they provide a tremendous service to our citizens, and the contribution that they make to this fund, it should be put to greater use.
Nationals are being advised to be particularly cautious this hurricane season. In an interview with disaster risk management specialist and consultant within the Office of Disaster Management, Cecil Shillingford, on Monday, he noted that the following devastation of Tropical Storm Erica last year, citizens should be more vigilant.
We are also transitioning from an El Nino to La Nina. El Nino normally suppresses the start or generation of hurricanes, while La Nina does the opposite. We are also transitioning from the dry, quote-unquote, because we haven't seen any dry season, but we are transitioning from the dry season into the wet season, so we could also be seeing quite some rain. As a result of that, we would maybe want people who are very close to rivers and other waterways to be very cognizant about that, because whenever it rains very much in the interior, we have some flooding downstream, especially in areas where the riverbeds are elevated as a result of Tropical Storm Erica and the constant rains we've been having since Erica, because every time it rains, some of the siltation goes down and further elevates the riverbeds. So we're hoping that in the next couple of months that we could see some work done on some of the riverbeds and the watercourses in terms of lowering them.
Alors tout le monde, bienvenue à cette nouvelle en créole. Non moi c'est McPherson Saint-Louis. Premièrement, un programme qui mettait attention à ce juvenile justice system qui prend place en Dominique week-end cela. Activité qui mettait attention à ce bagage faux qui jeunesse qu'a engagé en dedans.
Pour nous, Dominique, nous avons fait Yondé, mais nous avons fait dès les autres week-end, avril 22 et 23 à Ararak. 22 avril, nous avons un panel discussion. Mais panel discussion ça qui est différent. Avant panel discussion là, nous avons un petit spectacle, un petit drama called View from the Prison Van. Ça c'est là. Un jeune homme qui est allé en prison. Non, il était dans une voiture là qui amène l'audience. Il était dans ça. Et puis, il était catché et il dit, je dis là, laisse-moi aller l'audience. Ma cavire, et puis ça m'a fait là, mon coupable. Et puis, il était allé 10 fois avant. So, juste ça là, il dit, il a envoyé un message à tout le monde pour ne pas faire quoi. Et puis il a envoyé un message pour tout le monde, il a fait mal à la vie, comme ça. So, c'est ça nous avons allé avant panel discussion là. Panel discussion là, après nous avons parlé de violence. On l'a sorti. Et puis qui manière nous ça arrêter ça.
Plusieurs monde qui fait présentation en panel discussion là.
Et ces monde là qui allait parler, c'est monsieur Claude Wicks, madame Yvonne Alexander, Vincent Richards qui travaille en State Prison, Mr. Holmes, Mathilde Popo qui travaille à Dabagay Genja et Montgomery Richards, Bougla qui a joué par là, en View from the Prison Van. So il allait parler aussi. So nous allons parler de discussion après ça.
On a nouvelle, l'argent que Banque Latin fait avec là pour affaires des as et puis compte Dominique vulnérable, quand concerne le changement climatique, a dans dépensé pour poursuivre ordinateur qui a servi pour monitorer activité. Parole ça la sortie du ministre Environ, Honorable Dr. Kenneth Darrow.
Climate change ever building resilience to climate change, c'est pas seulement infrastructure, on ne peut pas parler de capacity. So yon se component na ba project sala World Bank project sala c'est building capacity every component ça mo que c'est component D ça nous fait que aba même project sala nous gagne impliqué presque $1 million ici dollars worth of computer equipment et ça c'est computer laptop et toute qualité d'autres equipment qui c'est equipment qui specially design qui fait esprit pour ça nous créer climate resilience.
Un nouvel agrément qui paye international d'accord pour financer projet pour mitigation changement climatique qui était tient en France décembre l'année passée, que c'est en New York semaine salaire. Ministère environ Honorable Dr. Kenneth Darrow en New York pour signer à ce compte gouvernement Dominique.
C'est un agrément, tout pays ont la terre. Car après on réunion à Paris l'année passée, nous avons décidé pour faire un agrément pour tout pays. Et nous allons signer ça pour montrer Dominique même voulait faire ça, il s'est fait pour protéger l'environnement là. C'est ça. C'est un agrément pour faire certain qu'il ne monde pas détruire l'environnement là, pour faire ça nous ça faire, pour faire certain nous ça protéger l'environnement là. C'est ça nous querons faire en New York, semaine ça là. J'ai dit.
Et puis finalement, ça fait au gouvernement qui a assisté musiciens avancés l'État à yo, ça même que mener foreign exchange en pays, ça c'est l'argent qui va en pays là. Parole ça là, sorti du ministère culture, Honorable Justin Charles.
Avec ça qui also in the foreign exchange because nous sommes musiciens nous quand aller l'autre pays jouer musique plusieurs fois yo ka taper invitation pour aller jouer musique l'autre pays so yo ka aller yo ka ça mener l'argent Dominique et nous savons nous ni assez musique activité nous ni World Creole Music Festival nous ni jazz festival nous ni carnival nous ni c'est gros qualité musique activité ça là où la yo même ça participer et ben yo ça fait l'argent pour croyo et pour aider en économie Dominique.
Messieurs mesdames, ça c'est tout pour nouvelles en créole pour à présent. Non moi c'est McPherson Luce. Au revoir.
Everyone wants to be fit, healthy and live a long active life, but many of us don't know how simple it really is. The secret to living healthy is making small changes. Drink a glass of water in the morning. Eat breakfast, as breakfast eaters are less likely to be obese and get diabetes. And cut down on harmful processed foods. Go for natural foods as much as possible to live a long and healthy life. And that's all for this edition of National Focus. We always welcome your suggestions and comments. Drop us an email at gis@dominica.gov.dm or visit our website news.gov.dm. Like our Facebook page, facebook.com/GIS News Dominica, and follow our Twitter at GIS Dominica. You can also catch up on past National Focus newscasts on our GIS Dominica YouTube channel. Live streaming is also now available 24 hours a day. From all of us here on the GIS News Production team, I'm Shaakira Pierre. Thanks for watching and join us next time on National Focus.